please, don't try anything that you're about to see us do at home. Ever.
On this episode of MythBusters, it's all about you with Viewer Special 2 as we tackle the top 5 fan favorites. First up, it's a caveman conundrum.
I dub this J-Man the Barbarian.
If you were alive 10,000 years ago, what would be your weapon of choice? Then you asked Cary, Grant, and Tori to find out if a machine gun can fell a tree.
I want to make a withdrawal.
Next, the boys take a swipe at a baseball myth you wanted in the spotlight.
I've put makeup on Adam before.
Then Buster and Tori are unleashed to find out if you can slide to safety with your jeans.
These guys are here to make sure I don't fall to my death.
And finally, it's a cartoon classic.
That worked perfectly.
Will a road-running trail of leaking gunpowder really blow up Wile E. Coyote style?
In 3, 2, 1.
Who are the MythBusters?
Smells like science.
Adam Savage.
This is the kind of thing I do on the weekends.
And Jamie Heineman.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience.
It bleeds.
Joining them, Tori Belleci.
We do that again?
Grant Imahara.
Excellent damn work.
And Carrie Byron.
Tell me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test. Adam and Jamie asked for them, and you guys delivered. Big time.
I am so overwhelmed. We have so many responses to our requests for ideas from viewers.
Yeah, my inbox is stuffed.
I think it's safe to say that we have enough here to get started.
Right. MythBusters Viewer Special number 2. Let's go.
All right.
And for the first fan theory, one half of the team is getting dressed up. And it's not Jamie.
Here we go again.
Oh, I like this. I'm trying to get into the mood. Because what we have here is not so much a myth per se as more like a historical conundrum that a fan has asked us to answer. This particular fan is an archaeological professor, and he notes that this kind of arrowhead is the most common archaeological find. And he's wondering why. I mean, if you're a hunter and you need to go get some dinner, are you going to spend all the time to make this? Or are you going to sharpen a stick and just head on out?
So the question is, why would they go to all this trouble to make this? Does it really make it a more effective killing tool?
Exactly.
This prehistory mystery comes courtesy of archaeology professor Todd Surville. It's a fact that thousands of stone arrowheads are found each and every year. But Doc Todd wants the MythBusters to find out why. Why did our stony-faced ancestors have a fondness for flint when an easy-to-make sharpened stick may have worked just as well?
So where do we start?
Well, I think we should start and find out how long it takes to make a flint arrowhead as opposed to a sharpened stick. Let's have a race. You should make some flint ones, and I'll sharpen some sticks, and we'll compare production times.
Yeah, and when it comes to testing time, we need to both look at their lethality as well as their accuracy, because they're both important.
I agree. So if you're ready, time to dust off those flint napping skills, because if I'm right, it's about 70 years since you've done it last.
And they're off. First up in this archaeology anecdote, Adam and Jamie go head-to-head in an arrow-making time trial.
Okay. 3.5 minutes.
I can't even come close to competing with that.
There's no contest. Jamie's been shafted. But he keeps chipping away, and an hour later, finally finishes.
We've just seen that it takes much longer to make a stone arrowhead. Now we need to find out if that makes for better arrows. And to do that, we're going to start with a simple lethality test. We'll make some more flint heads, we'll make some more pointed sticks, and we'll fire them into a ballistics gel dummy from a point-blank range. To make sure that both arrow types are fired consistently, we're going to use the automatic archer that we built for the Ninja Special.
So, that's the plan. But what does our resident Neanderthal think is going to happen? Well said. So, with the predictions in place, it's time to get to the point.
All right, you ready?
Go for it.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Worked like a charm.
Totally.
The sharp stick shot straight as an arrow. But what about the all-important penetration?
Wow. 8.5 inches.
8.5 inches ain't bad, but will the flint be flung further?
Okay, here goes the arrowhead. In 3, 2, 1. Look at that. That is pretty clear. The arrowhead went a good inch farther.
There's a glint of flint at the back of the bust, and 1 inch more penetration, confirmed by a bunch more tests. But Jamie spotted a problem.
The ballistics medium by itself is good flesh analog, but animals usually have fur and hide and things like that on it, so we're going to run the test again and see whether we get any kind of different results with this on it.
Despite the hide slightly hindering both the stick and flint arrows, the results are the same.
Actually, they were very close.
But is that enough to justify all the effort of making one?
This one went in this far, this one went in this far. I mean, you're dead either way.
Right. However, you know, if you think about the animals that are being hunted, some of them are quite large, and you want a bigger wound. You want it to bleed out faster. So I think the arrowhead makes quite a difference. I mean, if you look here, yeah, look at that. There's the pointy stick wound. So just a little hole, and there's the arrowhead wound. It's nice and wide.
But Jamie isn't impressed. In his mind, the size of the entry wound isn't the issue.
In terms of penetration, it was only about 5% difference, and yet it took 1,000% longer to make this one than this one. So it may not just be about lethality, it might also be about accuracy, and that's what we have to test next.
Yep, they're leaving no stone unturned for this myth. Nope, we haven't made this up. It's a myth straight from the fan side.
For the next viewer myth, a fan wants to know if you can chop down a tree with a machine gun.
Oh, just like in the movie Predator, where they mow down a chunk of the jungle.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, that's funny you should say that, because every time I go hiking in the forest and I'm just like, can I cut that tree down with a machine gun?
Perfect. You're gonna find out.
Tree lovers, huggers, and hippies beware. Tori's all fired up and ready to uproot this myth with some machine gun mayhem. Machine guns are a formidable weapon and have been in use for over 100 years. Their deadly spray of bullets, lethal on the battlefield, is, or so the fans claim, the ideal tool for tree felling.
So how are we going to test this myth? Because I don't want to go around destroying trees.
Well, why don't we get some trees that have been freshly felled for clearing purposes? We'll create our own artificial forest. That way, no trees will have been killed in the busting of this myth.
I think to test this properly, we're gonna need to get a bunch of machine guns and see if any of them will cut down a tree.
You know, I think the kind of artillery that we're going to want to use to test this myth is something that's not going to be accessible in California. So I think we're going to have to go back to that secret location where Jamie and Adam tested shooting fish in a barrel.
Ah, the secret location. I hope they allow us back.
Who's with me? Come on, everybody! Get your guns! Let's go to the forest! Chop down the trees!
Right there is the reason our insurance premiums are so high. So it's off for some fun in the Arizona sun.
Gonna have some fun!
Unseen at the secret location, the team need just 2 ingredients. Machine guns are no problem, but the tree line around here has flatline. So the guys pack their own.
We have 3 freshly cut pine trees. Grant's digging holes right now so that we can stick them up. We're gonna fire at them, see if we can cut them down.
If they do, it won't be because they've selected saplings. These pine trees are fully 2 feet in diameter and 2 tons apiece. Among them, our boreal expert Mark Mall has planted an extra challenge.
We have 3 freshly cut pine, but what's the tree at the end?
The tree at the end is a native mesquite tree.
Is that harder to cut through?
It's-
Why do we have this one?
It's about 4 times as dense as the pine tree, and it's going to give the machine gun a run for its money.
Yep, this hardcore hardwood is as tough as timber gets, making it the ultimate challenge for the machine gun. But before either tree faces the firing squad, Tori takes us through the arsenal.
Now, a machine gun is a very general term, so what we've done is we've chosen 3 different types to cover a very large range. For our small machine gun, we're gonna go with the Thompson submachine gun. It shoots a .45 caliber round. This is like your classic gangster machine gun that you see in the 30s. The next, our medium range machine gun, is called the Saw. How ironic. It's a squad automatic weapon, and it shoots a .223 fully automatic. This one is gonna be fun to shoot. Finally, for our big one, we're shooting the minigun. And this shoots a .30 caliber round, 3,000 rounds per minute. My money for cutting down a tree is on this bad boy right here.
Still to come, the MythBusters get fired up from machine gun mayhem.
I want to make a withdrawal.
Adam and Jamie have been asked by a fan why our ancient ancestors spent so much time making flint arrowheads, when sharpened sticks might have worked just as well. The caveman jury is still out, because in the so-called lethality testing, both arrow types were pretty much equal. So what's next?
The whole point of this exercise is to find out if there's a point to the manufactured point on an ancient arrow. Now the question is one of these more accurate over distance?
For that, they set up the Ninja Arrow bot 55 feet from the target. But this time, the target has a tash.
Where'd you find that picture?
I dubbed this J-Man the Barbarian.
With J-Man in place, Adam and Jamie line up for round 1. They fire 6 of the stone-tipped arrows in quick succession.
Let's go take a look at those.
Okay.
So far, so good.
It still is quite deadly at 50 feet in hitting a large fleshy target like Mr. Heinemann. Now the question is, will we be able to see any difference with the non-arrow-headed tipped arrows? Sharpened sticks. Fire 1. In 3, 2, 1.
This time, it's a volley of 6 sharpened sticks.
Let's inspect.
And just like in the lethality tests, they refuse to be significantly outperformed by their stony counterparts.
Well, we got one up here that's out by itself.
Yeah, 1 bogey. But the rest are pretty much just as clustered as the arrow-headed arrows. At this distance, it doesn't seem to me to be much of a difference.
No.
So, in summary, our Stone Age scientists have tried lethality testing
Actually, they were very close.
and only got a difference in the size of the entry wound. They tried testing accuracy
Please stop hitting me with arrows. That hurts.
and got the same result. In terms of performance, the arrows are virtually the same. So how do we answer this Dr. Todd's fan fable?
Well, here are the facts. It took more than 10 times longer to make an arrow with an arrowhead on it than it did to make a sharpened stick. And yet, neither of them were any better than the other one as far as accuracy or penetration.
Yes, but we did find that the arrowhead made a bigger wound. And that means that whatever you're hunting, whether it's a bison or a mammoth or what have you, that bigger wound's gonna mean it bleeds out faster. And that means it's gonna die quicker and you're gonna eat sooner. And in the hunting game, baby, that's everything.
And you also have to consider that the arrow shafts are made out of wood, and if it's just a sharpened stick, it's gonna rot. And the only thing that would be around for us to look at are these arrowheads. So we don't really know which there were more of.
And here's one more argument in favor of ye olde arrowhead, and that is that this is technology. Back in the day, this puppy was caveman bling.
And like any technology, you gotta have the latest and the greatest.
Oh yeah, that's what brings on the caveman ladies.
Chopping down trees is a backbreaking and dangerous job. But could there be a better way? Mythbuster fans want to know if you could replace a saw with a machine gun. Not enough shooting the breeze. How about them trees?
Okay, so our first weapon up today is the Thompson submachine gun.
So Grad Hitman Imahara has the tree machine gun myth in his sights. He locks, he loads, and lets loose with a drum full of 45 caliber bullets at 500 rounds a minute. But it's soon clear the handheld automatic is far from ideal.
You know what? One thing I'm seeing with the machine gun, it's just tough to keep it on target because you constantly want to rise up.
It just pushes you like that.
It's going to be tough to cut, to hit the same spot on the tree.
Yes, the kickback is making it tough for Grant to focus his fire, which means it's time to up the ante.
I want to make a withdrawal. Do you think you can help me?
Tori, looking like a Gun Enthusiast magazine cover, is confident the squad automatic weapon, or the saw, will live up to its name.
With this machine gun, I think we have a better chance of cutting down a tree just because these bullets are going to be flying at a lot faster velocity, so they should be cutting through the tree.
So Tori assumes the position. And let's rip. After Grant's experience with the Tommy gun, Tori's using a bipod for increased stability and accuracy.
It was great. You had a straight line.
Yeah.
Tori works away, concentrating his fire in a line across the base of the trunk. But despite unloading over 3 ammo belts into the wood, there's no sign of timber.
You got him all right. I don't think it's going down, though.
And with one last blast, Tori gives up. But unlike the Tommy gun, the saw bullets did go all the way through the trunk. But the relatively small caliber .223 meant the damage was limited and the tree stayed standing. But the myth is still alive because Carrie Mad Max Byron is up next. After the break, Adam and Jamie launch a smear campaign, and Carrie brings out the big guns. Not so long ago, the team went to the ball game to hit some baseball myths right out of the park. But the fans say there was one glaring omission.
Can you guess what's next?
Let me see. Eye black?
Good call.
Well, eye black's supposed to do what? Make you see better?
Yeah, by cutting the glare. Either that or it's supposed to strike the fear into your opponents because it looks like war paint.
Well, how are we going to test that?
Well, I think we should bring Jess into it, and I think she should put some eye black on us, and it's pretty simple. We go out into the sunlight and we take an eye test, both with and without eye black on our face.
Except we can't know which one we've got on. So for one of us, she'll do eye black, and for the other, she'll do regular makeup. We won't know which one, so the test will be blind.
So to speak.
Exactly.
So outside, Jess positions the eye chart so the guys will face directly into the sun.
Close your eyes.
Then she launches a smear campaign, putting eye black on Adam.
I've put makeup on Adam before.
When was that?
Oh, you know.
And ordinary makeup on Jamie. Remember, they don't know which substance they've got on their faces.
Oh, it's bright outside.
Then they take turns sitting Jess's eye exam.
HVZDS.
NCVKD.
ONV.
CSV.
DVOHC. SR. I think that's the last line. The third to the last is the smallest one I can read.
At the end of round one, Adam and Jamie each made just a single mistake.
Could you tell what you had under your eyes?
Honestly, I could not tell whether I had a light or dark color under my eyes.
They swap stripes and sit the test a second time.
CZSHN.
Is Jamie finding it easier with the eye black on?
NCVKDC.
Is Adam struggling with the glare now that his cheeks no longer bear the sooty swipe?
How'd I do on that last one?
Well, actually, the results are the same. One wrong letter each. However,
I really feel like I can see it better. Please tell me I'm wearing the eye black. No? Negative results.
Is what's on me now a lighter color?
No, actually, it's black, and I think it really complements the beret.
Oh.
so both feel the test was harder with the eye black on. But because the eye test is so subjective, they decide to remove the human element. They're going to use a fake face with a fake tan.
Not entirely awful.
And insert a light meter into the eye socket.
I've got professional grade eye black from the sporting goods store. Gonna take a reading with the light on, without the eye black and with the eye black, and see if there's a difference.
With a single light source beaming down on our one-eyed outfielder,
It's now settled out at around 3,160 or so.
the guys note down the reading, measured in lux, with and without eye black.
It's about the same.
Yeah.
I mean, the difference in a couple of lux, you'd never notice it with your naked eye.
So the eye black didn't affect the amount of light bouncing off the cheek and into the eyeball.
Don't these guys normally wear baseball caps?
Yeah,
Let's put one on and see what happens.
but maybe it's about the reflected light, not the direct light.
On goes the cap, and without eye black, the light meter hovers around 103 lux. Then, being careful not to move the cap, Adam adds the pigment.
It's pretty well stabilized, well below 100, like, 90, thereabouts.
That's significant.
Yeah.
With the cap on, the eye black definitely reduced the amount of reflected light. And let's face it, when did you last see a baseballer without his cap?
What do you reckon?
Well, it's funny. The eye black tests that we were first doing really seemed to point towards the opposite of conventional wisdom. It seemed like we were about to prove that the eye black makes it worse for you in bright sunlight rather than better.
Indeed. But once we threw in the addition of the baseball cap, the change in the total amount of light coming in actually turned it in the other direction. It looks like eye black actually does help, so it's plausible.
I would agree. This one is, plausible.
Cookies, for real. What did he
Dude, we have more experiments to do. What is the holdup?
We need Carrie's cell phone in order to see if we can open the car door.
I mean, oh my God. I was like,
If you want to find out what happens when we actually get the cell phone out of Carrie's hands, log on to discovery.com/MythBusters.
what was she wearing?
You, yes, you the viewers, want to know, is it possible to fell a tree with a machine gun? So far, Ballistics Balachi and Hitman Imahara have left their wood standing.
Well, Grant, I hate to tell you this, but the tree's still standing.
But it ain't over till the fat lady sings. And in this case, the fat lady is the Dillon minigun.
Now it's time for the big gun. This is the M134D Gatling gun, otherwise known as the Dillon minigun. It shoots 30 caliber rounds at 3,000 rounds per minute.
3,000 rounds a minute. Breaks down to an incredible 50 per second. And whatever it sounds like, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Grant, curious to know how long it'll take to take down the tree, has a stopwatch ready.
Okay, we're going hot. Yeah!
Carrie primes the gun and lines up her target.
In 3, 2, 1.
Now that's a machine gun. In a torrential downpour, the spent cartridges pile up around Carrie's feet. And in less than a minute, the tree catches fire and...
Nice job, you cut it down. What was the time?
45 seconds.
Oh my
Dude, you just riddled this thing. Look at it. It's the splinter maker.
Oh my goodness. It's just like, there's nothing left structurally.
It smells like campfire.
Oh, it smells good.
Wow.
It smells like destruction.
Yep, Carrie has sawn her victim in half, which leaves just one conclusion.
Well, I think there's one thing we can definitely say. Cutting down a tree with a machine gun, as long as it's a Dylan Gatling, totally confirmed.
But before the team wander off into the sunset, there's one last challenge. The mesquite. Remember, this tree has 4 times the density of the pine, making it a much tougher target. But is it tough enough?
We're going hot. 3, 2, 1.
Fantastic.
Smoking!
Nice shooting.
Oh my God!
The minigun is the ultimate tree killer.
What was the official time?
1 minute, 8 seconds. A little bit longer than the pine. So, as far as the myth's concerned, even if you have a mesquite tree and you got a Gatling gun, confirmed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely confirmed.
It's confirmed.
Coming up, Tori flies by the seat of his pants. Not so long ago, the team tested out some hard-wearing myths surrounding jeans. But there's another fabrication the fans want unzipped.
Okay, here's the myth. Guy's on a ski lift. The chair stops. He panics. So what does he do? He pulls off his jeans, he flips it over the top of the wire, and he sails to safety as if he's on a zip line.
Yeah! We definitely have to try that one.
A zip line is a cable